It's a roof inspection, 201 North Eastern Avenue, Moore, Oklahoma. We've taken some photos of this thing. We haven't done any core samples as of yet, but this is looks like a 60 mil EPDM, loosely laid, with an 1.5 to 2 inch washed gravel ballast. So typically I've seen these installed on the old Kmart stores years ago. I'm just wondering if this might not have been one. Along this area right here, I'm going to take my foot and kind of kick it. The roof membrane is loose all the way down this wall. A little patch there. We walk down this wall here. This is pretty typical. I see this a lot on the older membranes when they shrink. This membranes run across this distance, across the narrow side of the roof, and after they've been on for a while, they have a tendency to shrink, and they'll kind of pull away from the wall like this. This wall in particular is doing this all the way down. So if the owners have any intentions of just maybe patching this roof up, we'll probably recommend cut that membrane out and redo it at that wall to allow for some of that shrinkage. Again, we see it here on this wall, not quite as bad. Then we get down here on the front wall. As we walk down this wall, you can see that's pulled away about 8 or 10 inches off that wall. While they put this membrane on, they just run it up the wall. It's supposed to be fully adhered. It is here. Just pulling away down here. It's a little worse down here where it's pulling away, but that's all repairable. At this point, I don't know the history of this roof or building, but I'm assuming this roof has probably been on 15 years or more. Here's another area here that's pulling away. It's pulling away a little bit down here on the base of the wall, all the way down this front wall. And of course, all the way down that north wall. The south wall isn't quite as bad. As we walk on down and around this roof, I talked to Virginia inside. I guess she's in charge of maintenance, and she told me that they had some vandals out here, not vandals, but some thieves out here stealing the copper out of these units, these AC units. There's 3 units here that have been stripped. Now, I suspect that you can get some water inside the building from these units on the air supply side, which is going to be over here. They've got it covered up a little bit, but you can see where water could get in from that. This is the 3rd unit here. Yeah, they've got some covers over that, but water can run in. I'm sure they've got some leaks from that. There's maybe about 10 or 15 patches here. These right here we took photos of may have been some core samples where someone has got up here and cored the roof. Not sure about that. It's not the greatest thing, but these condensate drains are draining straight down on the roof. There's actually one over there that's kind of had some trees growing from the water constantly dripping. Here's patch around this exhaust vent side. There's some patches on this little upper roof area on the corners. These patches look fairly recent, so I think someone's been out here. One of them on that corner. Go around here. Here's another one. This corner, while we're over here, I noticed along the peripheral, around the perimeter at the back, some of this flashing is just a little bit loose. The 60 mil membrane turns down over that, and this caps over, so it's not critical. But down here, I noticed on the roof hatch there has been a patch there, and this is like the lower roof over the mechanical room or storage room back here. Kind of hold this up and look at this little upper roof area. I should note, you got a counter flashing built in this wall that's done correctly. The original contractor on this thing did a pretty decent job. They did it really close to spec. Here's a mechanical. I guess when the grocery distributor was in here, they had some units for refrigeration. There's some patches back here on the back that are recent. I noticed some here. And of course, there's a pitch pan here on the support right there. It's fresh patch. There's some patch here on this vent. Another one on this corner over here. When we do our report, we'll try to investigate and kind of make an educated guess maybe how we think this roof is. The good thing about these type of roofs, and especially this area of the country where we get a lot of hail, wind, and tornadoes every year, every spring, especially more Oklahoma, is that you take the 60 mil membrane, it's loose laid, so there's no fasteners or anything going through it. Then you take the heavy ballasted gravel. I'd have to look up exactly how many pounds per square foot, but it seems like I recall maybe 11. I'll just have to look in the specs to check. But anyway, the weight of this gravel holds this roof down. It prevents it from blow off. So, of course, the bad thing is maybe a tornado might pick some of this rock up and spread it. But anyway, that's the whole idea behind these ballasted systems. It also, this heavy rock protects the roof from hail damage. It is just almost impossible to get hail damage on a ballasted roof like this. When that hail hits it, it disperses and it doesn't affect the membrane. So I've never, in my over 40 years, have seen hail damage on a ballasted EPDM system. It just doesn't happen. I've looked at the outside wall coping. The workmanship is all good. It's all original. And there are some hail dings on the metal coping on the top, and that's always an indication of some hail damage, but they're not really bad. There's one there, might have been 1 inch, but it looks like it's maybe some golf ball and smaller golf ball. You can kind of see it. Here's one that's pretty good leg. That's probably a golf ball. I don't see a lot of indications of any really big hail. Of course, that doesn't mean there wasn't, but I just don't see a lot right now. I don't see too much on top of these units. These units, those lids are usually about 20 gauge in thickness. I don't see any. Of course, this is a newer unit too. I don't know how long this has been on here. I don't think that's the original unit. When I spoke with the lady inside, she said they had some leaks a while back, and she didn't know of any now. There's another little, I think somebody cored the roof there. They don't know of any leaks at present since someone had been out in the last few weeks and worked on this. I think I've kind of covered about everything I'm going to cover on this video. We're going to go back down here and get some tools here and make a core sample and kind of see what's under here.